While the Scream sequel, Scream 6, will bring back the slasher franchise's iconic villain Ghostface, the movie's version of the killer will be very different from every earlier incarnation of the masked murderer. The Scream series has a relatively reliable formula. Each movie in the series has followed Sidney Prescott's attempts to unmask and defeat Ghostface, a murderer who is obsessed with horror movies and the genre's familiar tropes. While the identity of Ghostface changes in each Scream movie, the structure of each sequel has remained reliable. Until now. But before we get into why this Ghostface is different to the others, I'd like to say hello guys and gals, I'm Nick, and welcome to Firthy's Feedback. So, the news that Sidney Prescott won't return in Scream 6 means that the entire formula of the franchise will be upended in the sequel. Sidney was the final girl of every earlier Scream movie, meaning viewers have no idea who will and won't survive this upcoming outing. While Melissa Barrera's Sam was the heroine of Scream 2022, the sequel also leaned into the possibility that this new final girl could secretly be a killer, a twist that another preceding Scream sequel already pulled off. Now, with Sidney gone, Scream 6 can twist the expectations of viewers even further, starting with a complete reinvention of Ghostface. Here are 6 ways this Ghostface is different than the others. Number 6. Scream 6's Ghostface is attacking in New York, not Woodsboro. The biggest difference between Scream 6's Ghostface and earlier killers in the series is the location of the murderer's attacks. Scream 6's Ghostface is causing carnage in New York City, a massive, densely populated urban metropolis. As such, the killer will have far more anonymity. Earlier Scream movies were set in the small town of Woodsboro, meaning there was a small pool of potential suspects who could turn out to be the masked killer. In contrast, New York City's huge population means that anyone could be Scream 6's killer, and the characters will have a far harder time narrowing down their list of suspects. Number 5. Scream 6's Ghostface is bolder and more brazen. Another advantage of operating in New York City is that Scream 6's Ghostface can get away with much more blatant acts of violence. According to co-director Matt Bettinelli-Olpin, Scream 6 is a wild ride thanks to the sequel's bolder and more brazen Ghostface. Scream 6's trailers already provide evidence of this, with the earliest teaser depicting Ghostface attacking a victim in a packed subway car filled with witnesses, while the full-length trailer sees the killer stalk Tara and Sam through a bodega, undeterred by the presence of numerous onlookers.
Hello, Sydney. Scary night, isn't it? With the murders and all, it's like right out of a horror movie or something.
According to star Jenna Ortega, Scream 6's Ghostface will be more violent than ever. Ortega said, "I think this will probably be the most aggressive and violent version of Ghostface we've ever seen," which is quite an impressive achievement when earlier sequels saw the villain rack up body counts of over 10 victims per movie. However, since Ortega's Tara could be Scream 6's new final girl, judging by the sequel's Super Bowl spot, the actor likely knows what she's talking about. Not only that, but the bodega attack sequence further solidifies the notion that this Ghostface is not exactly a measured killer. Number 3. Scream 6's Ghostface won't face off against Sidney Prescott. Of course, the biggest difference between Scream 6's Ghostface and earlier incarnations of the villain has nothing to do with the character itself. Scream 6's villain won't face off against Campbell's iconic franchise heroine Sidney Prescott since, although her character was included in the sequel's original script, the actor left the series when the studio failed to meet her salary demands during contract negotiations. While Scream 6's sizable budget is higher than the price tag of its predecessors, it appears that the studio felt that this money was better invested elsewhere. This will be Scream 6's most divisive Ghostface change, as viewers have never encountered the villain without Sidney's presence. Number 2. Scream 6's Ghostface controversially uses a shotgun. One element of Scream 6's Ghostface that surprised some fans of the franchise was the villain's decision to wield a shotgun. This is highlighted in the first full trailer, which opens with a lengthy sequence where the killer walks into a bodega and kills civilians with the massive weapon. While earlier movies in the Scream series did feature their killers utilizing firearms during their punchy finales, traditionally, Ghostface didn't pick up a gun until the climax of each movie. There is a brutal efficiency in gun violence that jars with the slasher subgenre's traditional depictions of more intimate, visceral forms of violence. That said, this isn't unheard of in the subgenre's history. Famously, Art the Clown shot the supposed final girl of Terrifier in a twist that left even seasoned horror fans shocked, and the Scream movies used guns to make the ending of earlier sequels more tense and dramatic. Since the creators of Scream 6 want to make the sequel feel fresh, this reinvention is a logical step for the villain. Part of what makes Scream 6 one of 2023's most hyped horror movies is its promise to reinvent the franchise formula, and giving Ghostface more explosive firepower earlier in the story is an effective way to achieve this. And number 1. Scream 6's Ghostface is much better prepared. Every version of Ghostface has done some planning when it comes to their ambitiously evil killing spree. However, some of their backstories add up a lot better than others. Scream 2's infamously silly killer reveal relied on Billy Loomis's grieving mother using online forums to find a horror nerd who was willing to reenact a real-life killing spree, a twist that beggared belief and was just about salvaged by Laurie Metcalf and Timothy Oliphant's campy turns as the two killers. In contrast, Scream 3's original script revealed that a group of killers were working together to act as the sequel's version of Ghostface, justifying the sequel's seemingly omnipresent killer. While it's not yet clear whether Scream 6's Ghostface will be more than 2 people, what is clear is that the villain is far better prepared than any of their franchise's predecessors. Judging by the Scream 6 trailer, the sequel's version of Ghostface has an elaborate underground layer, over half a dozen identical Ghostface disguises, access to more advanced lethal weaponry, and the money necessary to fund all of this. As such, it seems likely that the Scream 6's Ghostface will be the hardest Scream franchise villain for the heroes to subdue in the history of the franchise. What do you guys think? Was there anything missing from that list? And do you feel this Ghostface will be completely different to others? Let me know below.